Starting.
Hi, and
Hello, friends.
hello, and welcome to the Rowdy Chair with your hosts. I'm Steve Cruz, and that's Sam Coonan.
Hi. Hello.
I've actually, you
Hello,
know what? That's
friends.
kind of rude. Maybe you should say your name. I think that's
My
better.
name is Sam Coonan.
Hello, and
Destroyer of
welcome.
worlds.
Yeah, that's pretty close. That's pretty right.
Destroyer of couches, more like.
Destroyer of couches.
And
We
any
don't
type
have
of
the
chair. Anything that my ass has to contain is generally destroyed.
now. The distinction has to be: are you the destroyer of worlds, or is your ass the destroyer of worlds?
I don't control my ass.
I don't think you control your ass.
My ass is a destructive force that I have no control over. But it doesn't have a will of its own. It just it exists. It's like a rock, you know. If a rock falls onto like a house, it isn't the rocks. The rock didn't decide to do that. It just, physics. I guess you can blame physics.
I guess we can blame physics on
Although
your
I think
ass.
my ass goes against all rules of physics.
I mean, it's non-Newtonian fluid.
I for people who don't comprehend, I'm a fairly large human being.
Sam, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4" and I weigh 360 to 50 pounds.
Yeah,
so I'm about as big as an average NFL player, and I'm fat, obviously, but I'm not like Walmart gets on a scooter fat, you know. Like I have heft, but I'm not like
I'm
not going to Disney World in a scooter fat.
I mean, you could go to Disney World in a scooter.
I'd probably prefer it, but I have like
you know what? You would prefer it because you hate you literally hate walking, and you actually have a good reason to hate walking.
I know, but it's like a pride.
Your bones don't work right.
It's not that it's my foot that doesn't work right. I don't know if it's the bone or the muscles.
They're made of bones. It's like I think it's ligaments. Technically,
25% bone, 50% water, the other 25% cartilage meat.
I don't think cartilage is meat. I think you'd be pretty unhappy with a plate of cartilage.
Depends on where the cartilage, how it was prepared. Are you going to turn down a plate of fried chicken cartilage?
I think I might, because it's like just me sitting. I'm basically chewing on bone for 20. I'm chewing on fucking bone for 20 minutes. All right. Anyway, this is the Rowdy Chair, and here at the Rowdy Chair, we well, first of all, we are just a podcast like all others. Where
I thought this was a feature film.
Fuck you!
I thought this was the DVD commentary for Family Guy. This is the scene where Peter makes a joke go on for too long. I'm proud of this joke.
Is that a joke, or is that anything to be proud of?
No. God. We're DVD commentary for like a low budget anime that got like barely dubbed to come over here. Yeah, this is when I hired my friend Todd to come do the voice. He's never worked here before, but
it's Todd.
It's Todd, man.
You know what? I actually think that that's a very accurate understanding of our show, is that we are the low-budget dub of that low-budget anime that came over here because 4Kids could get the license for like $6.
Thank you. We are the DVD commentators of Rave Master.
Wait, we were in Shonen Jump and we were rated 213th in the popularity poll, Sam.
213.
I don't even know if it goes that low.
276.
Oh, wow, that's very generous. We're 40 slots more popular than
we're better than Bleach.
Probably better than Bleach at this point.
I mean, that's not saying much.
I think that's more of an insult than anything else. Like, hey, it's better than Bleach, am I right? I like Bleach.
The first part of it was good. Okay.
That first arc is super good, and like even the Monster of the Week stuff starting out was like really solid because there was a great like character
with the Monster of the Week format is you can't make that the entire thing. It's not a logical thing where you can just go, man, Monster of a Week, and then like just be like, oh wait, what are we gonna do? creatively in the creative process for this.
I am,
you
but
go
in some ways,
and I mean, it has its problems, but like, all right, this is one thing I want to ask you, Steve. What do you like more, Bleach or Naruto? What do you think is better? Excuse me, Bleach or Naruto?
I would have
to like more, because I'm sure you'd like Bleach more than Naruto, just personally. But I'm talking about, and I'll just make it the manga as opposed to the anime because we obviously haven't read. I mean, I haven't read much of Naruto or Bleach because I'm not a masochist.
I mean, I see. The thing is, at this point, I enjoy the mangas of the big three more than the shows.
I mean, they're dead. All of them are dead except for One Piece because One Piece will never die.
One Piece, yeah. I mean, it should be stated right out the gate. We are both One Piece people.
I mean, I'm not caught up because I like to bulk read my.
I also forgot to read for a week, and then I couldn't go back because it was too much to read at once. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just waiting. Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm waiting for that period where it's like, all right, I can do this all. And
because I did Dressrosa, and I like Dressrosa, but man, that was a tough 2 years to go through.
That goes on and on and.
See, the bad thing is I like to bulk read Berserk, so I haven't read Berserk.
So
in
what if
years.
Then you haven't. You've literally not read Berserk.
I mean, I've read up until they got off that one, like, mermaid island.
Wait a minute. You're telling me they got off the boat and then got back on?
Yeah, so midway through the journey, they got off the boat to go visit an island to go get, like, supplies. I mean, it was an okay chapter. It didn't really, like, do anything, per se.
Oh my god. I
mean, look, let's put yourself in Mira's shoes. Is that how you pronounce it?
All right.
Mira's?
Mira? I think it's Mira.
You're the most talented artist in Japan, probably.
And you love Idolmaster too much.
And you just love Idolmaster. And you know what? I bet you Japanese people don't really like Berserk that much. I bet you people in Japan aren't clamoring for Berserk. Yeah, if you're a little kid in Japan, what would you like more?
No,
Berserk?
Do not let
Sword Art Online. It's really
I wouldn't let my children. I would not let my children read Sword Art Online. If you're giving me the two options between Sword Art Online and Berserk, I'm just gonna tell my kid to go outside.
Look, people don't.
They're not
gonna
grow up reading.
Don't like big bulky men anymore. That was like a purely an 80s and 90s thing. And the sad part is that the Westerns still like this is what. All right, so I want to talk about something real fast.
All right,
why don't we have a Western action animated show that can sell toys that just features muscular men punching things? You think you'd be able to sell that? That's a pretty easy concept to sell to children, don't you think? Like, that's one of the reasons why, like, Avatar didn't work. And I'm one of the biggest Avatar critics, but, like,
you are the only person on Earth who does not like Avatar. You are still one of 6. That's true. I mean, you could. I mean, like,
theoretically, but, like, But who wants an action figure of Aang when you could have an action figure of RoboCop? Like, what are you gonna pick?
Well, he's got the glider, which is a nice thing. And
all right, RoboCop has robot fists and a glowing eye and muscles.
And I don't think does that eye glow. I always thought it was just black, like a black lens.
All right, we're gonna Google RoboCop eye.
God. No.
It's got so it's just that black lens, but I'm pretty sure it has that red dot in the center. And in the new movie,
that's a Cylon
it glowed.
Thing. Oh, because when you say the red eye, I think Cylons immediately because they have the.
But the issue with modern Western action animated series is that they can't show.
Is that there are none.
I mean, it's just that they can't show violence at all. So like, that's one of my big issues.
Yeah, but Sam, think about the era of Justice League. Like, think about when Justice League was on. Was there anything really that violent? Did anyone get decapitated?
Yeah, but nobody watched Justice League, Steve.
No, it went on for like 5 seasons. For a
Steve.
cartoon, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, but Steve.
And it's all classic DC characters.
It is. Justice League is right. All right, what do you like more, Batman TAS or Justice League?
I think it's Justice League because I overall like the cast better because there's more. There's more cast. I like Superman. I like. You know, I'm gonna say it immediately.
Really
I like Flash is really good. Green Lantern's good, and you get to have like
Martian
all
Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter.
Wonder Woman was
super
cool.
underrated.
The only character I don't think anyone liked was that Hawk Girl with a mace.
Hawk Girl had a pretty cool arc. Over
she had
time.
a good arc, but like her character was.
But
basically...
she's just sort of Hawk Girl. Like she doesn't have any.
The issue is she was tsundere, and the West doesn't know how to do tsundere. Let's be real here. They got it right with Helga from Hey Arnold.
I knew Helga was gonna be right out of your fucking mouth. I knew in my fucking bones.
I mean, you're talking about someone who doesn't like tsundere. I despise that character archetype. In fact, it's my least favorite type of character.
It's really I hesitate to even call it a type of character. Every single one of those words in the sentence, type of character, can have quotation marks around it because it's hardly a type and it's hardly a character and it's barely an of. Okay. Anyway.
But what I'm trying to say is...
What are you trying to say?
Why isn't there just a series where... First of all, we have all the CG animation, like the CGI animation in the West is really, really a lot better than anywhere else in the world.
We are pretty good at it by now. We do a good job with it.
Why isn't there like a good Western animated CGI action thing that takes place with all of the superheroes?
It's Ninja Turtles. That Ninja Turtles show on Nickelodeon
was okay, but it's
I've heard it was quite good.
Yeah, I'm sure it's okay. I'm not
Here's the primary problem. Neither of us have watched a lot of those. See, here's another thing. You're forgetting that the action market for cartoons went way down over time because it's more expensive to make them because you
have to put in a budget.
You have to put in a serious budget to make the fighting look good and fun and to create character designs that people want to buy toys and maquettes of. But like if you get a decent writing team, you can have a show with a minimalist art style and good comedy and good characters. Like all the modern like Cartoon Network stuff is like high focus on a really unique aesthetic and sticking the landing on it really well, but not as much on like picture perfect choreographed animation. It's more about.
I'm not denying any of those statements.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying like that's one of the bigger hurdles for an action cartoon in general. It's just like a cartoon can look really.
What were they thinking with Thundercats?
I think they were thinking that kids born in 1996 would know what Thundercats were.
I mean, I like the original Thundercats show.
I never watched it. I mean, but you're talking to the guy who never watched Transformers either, so I'm sort of the weirdo.
I mean, it has the big issue like a lot of 80s, late 80s, mid 80s animation in general is just like...
It was all bad?
It wasn't... It was very bland. I mean, there's some good stuff from that time. It was just like very, very bland, and everything was about getting to like very cheap Korean animators, so everything looked terrible. And like...
Well, was it Japanese animators at that time? No, I don't think so.
Japanese animators only helped. The only show that they helped with in the 80s was a show called Galaxy Rain. Do you remember that show, Steve?
Is that the one with the cowboys in space?
Yes!
That we watched one episode of.
And it was the greatest thing on earth. I bought the DVD for it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm really excited to watch it, actually.
I remember actually consistently, like, nothing else impressed me except for the laser gun effects, and I was like, wow, those are some really nice laser blasts. Those are cool. And now that you say it's from Japan, it's like, yeah, of course. They're fucking great.
I mean,
at
it's
that
not
shit.
from Japan. It was a Japanese animation studio that helped.
Right. Well, that's what I meant, right? Like,
Yeah.
they probably did a lot. They probably like, oh yeah, fucking laser blast. We've been doing that since fucking 1954, asshole. You want a fucking laser blast? I'll give you a fucking laser blast. Yeah, back in the day, it used to just look like a fucking fireball coming off of a long white line. But son of a bitch, this is 1984.
This
We know what we're doing.
The best laser blast.
This is the finest laser blast on the market.
We should watch Galaxy Rangers together one day.
I could do that. That would actually be fun to stream or something, to be like while watching it, if we get some clout.
We're never gonna have clout. But
we'll get clout. Sam, listen. This is the founding thesis of the Rowdy Chair: is that two 20-something white-ish dudes. I mean, I'm the only one who's white-ish.
Steve, we're gonna have to take advantage of the fact that you're less whitish than me.
Yeah, that will be,
metaphorically speaking, you're probably way more white than me.
I am metaphorically way more white, but physically, actually, I am exactly 50% less white than you. So,
do you want to know how white Steve is? He's probably eating hummus while watching Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I like the garlic hummus, and Sam, I'm so white that I watch Deep Space Nine and insist that it's better than Next Generation. Look, that's how white.
Look, I liked hummus when I had it, but I can't get over the texture of it. But when I was drunk, it was very tasty.
If you find there was this fucking hummus.
I'm not a big into like cold dips. I like my dips to be warm.
No, that makes sense. I'm going with like sandwiches.
If I'm going with like a cracker like thing, I'm gonna get some gosh darn spread cheese because I live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, everything is cheese there.
Everything.
There's
a cheese castle, Steve.
I know there's a cheese. Are those shares of the Green Bay Packers that you have? Are they printed on thin sheets of cheese?
No, that would be gross, disgusting.
Thanks for taking the joke and just fucking taking it out back and putting a fucking gun in its mouth.
It's actually made out of sausage. That's what I was trying to get at. You didn't let that go, Steve.
Oh shit! I killed the joke. You were dragging it out back to give it a back rub, and I went out there and started shooting.
You just old.
I killed it.
You old.
I old yelled the joke, and I probably grazed you because I was just firing indiscriminately. I just started shooting up in the fucking air.
My arm hurts a lot, Steve. I need to go to the hospital.
What do they got at the hospital? Fucking a doctor in a cheese hat, the mirror on his little fucking headband is made of cheese.
Oh, do you think we could put a sausage in here and it'll fix the gun wound? Yeah, man. Just drink some beer. You'll be fine.
Jam a bunch of... Oh, God. The actual mental image of jamming sausage into a bullet wound is... Ugh.
Both hysterical and disgusting. Steve, we have a basis for our first web... By the way, anybody who's listening to us, don't steal our webcomic idea of putting sausages in bullet hole wounds.
Why is that a webcomic idea?
Steve, we're going to get rich. Wisconsin comics.
Oh God, we're going to be like the Pluggers. We're going to make really broad comics about life in Wisconsin, and they'll be like,
and they'll be just like, no, the thing is, we'll present ourselves as like this, like 40-year-old, like, or 50-year-old, like Wisconsinite, and just all the comics will be just this like avant-garde comic where nothing will make sense.
But it will make sense to a Wisconsinite.
It's going to be a tough tightrope to walk down. So all of you webcomic, all five of the webcomic artists out there listening to this.
Okay. Yeah, that's more accurate.
There's only 7 of them. I forgot about the 2 other ones that are webcomics that don't listen to this show.
I mean, I was going to say, Sam, I'm already halfway there. I've been 40 years old since I was a freshman in high school. So selling that I'm from Wisconsin shouldn't be too hard.
When are we going to do a webcomic together, Steve?
Well, we're doing a podcast together already. I feel like
that becomes popular. Do you want to do a webcomic together?
I could do. I mean, I could do we could do like gag comics based off of the episodes. That would be fun. I like those. I like the illustrations.
I'm talking about hard-hitting political comics where a pig sits on Congress with the words treason written on him, and a butcher sits right next to him with the words American public on him.
Fucking stupid ass pig. What the hell does that mean?
Well, the Statue of Liberty holds a bag that says American processes and bureaucracy.
What?
Ben Garrison comics, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God, fuck.
Man, let's not talk about Ben Garrison.
No, we can't do it. We can't get too
down the road. That's for another episode, I feel like. That we need to talk
I get slightly political in my hot take, but it's more about it's literally way more about tabletop games. So
politics of tabletop games.
Trust me, it's a rabbit hole, Sam. You're gonna want to strap in. But
do you want to do hot takes already?
Well, why don't we do something new first? We're gonna do our audience's hot takes. Now,
one of our audience.
Shut the hell. I got two, Sam.
Oh.
I got two hot takes from our audience. So sit on that. Are you sitting on it?
I am literally.
Get up, because you're gonna destroy it. Get up. Get the fuck up.
I'm up.
All right.
Can I come back down?
Yeah, you can. Is it out from underneath your chair? You're not gonna sit back down on it.
It ran away.
Okay. All right. Good.
Actually, it died. I sat on it initially.
Now we can't do a podcast. Now we have to cancel the podcast. Thank you. Good
Ladies
job.
and gentlemen, this has been the Rowdy Chair. It's lasted a strong 4 episodes, but my ass ruined it.
If it ever is truly ruined, Sam, I don't want to be mean, but it will be your ass that comes between us.
My digital ass. I'll upload my ass to the internet. The Kremlin has no answer for my ass. Sir, our data sets are being destroyed by some unknown force.
What the hell is that accent? Do you think that you're doing? What's coming out of there?
A lot of
What's coming? Is that coming from your ass?
Yes. My ass is a fake Russian prime minister.
All right. Okay. Back on track. So, what I would like the Rowdy Chair...
Should we explain what a hot take is, by the way?
Well, I think that people know what a hot take is. A hot take is
something that brews inside of your belly.
Yeah. It's something that lives in your guts. It is a feeling and a belief that animates your whole body and soul in its darkest moments.
And the good part about it is it doesn't need any type of proof.
It doesn't need proof. It doesn't have to be bound by the laws of science or man. It doesn't need to be good. You can know in your heart that this hot take that you have is the stupidest shit that you believe, but you know what? You believe it with all of your fucking heart. Now, that's not to say some hot takes aren't like genuinely like fucking smart as shit, like 100%, 100% real. Yeah, exactly. But I think.
But we want to get to the crux of how the people think, Steve. I want to feel what you feel. I want to be you. I want to put my gigantic feet into your tiny shoe.
I want to see Sam try and put his feet desperately into your small shoes. Because that guarantees to be a hoot and a holler.
I want to feel that hot take. And this is why we call it a hot take. Because, you know what? You may be wrong, but that's how you're feeling right now. And any historical person can tell you that some of history is wrong, but it's important to recognize what people are feeling at the time.
Exactly.
And that's something that you only get from only the worst AM radio station shows. And that's something that should be brought to the podcast world.
Yeah, we need to give the id of your not just like the horrible political id, but the normal id, the id in your day-to-day life that just is so bothered by meaningless trivial bullshit. Here, hold on. Something went wrong. Sam, you there? Uh-oh. Boop.
All right, everyone. For what happened is, and once I get this to a thing where my internet just crashed completely and it screwed up the entire room. So it's still ongoing. Steve's going to be coming back soon. We're still broadcasting, so there might be a little bit of a quiet time. We apologize for that. Steve's having issues right now, so I'm gonna have to hold your attention for a short while we figure out these technical kinks. But what we were trying to say is that a hot take isn't something that you just think about logically. One of the greatest parts about hot takes is that most of them are wrong. Most of the time, they're not right. And really, that's not important as being right or wrong. It's about how you feel. It's about... Sorry about that. I'm trying to communicate with Steve. What I'm trying to say is that the hot take is a very important part of a balanced breakfast. Hello, Steve.
Yeah, I'm back.
We had the entire internet just crashed, I feel like.
I feel like everything went wrong for like a minute.
Did Firefox crash for you too?
Firefox didn't crash, but everything else went nuts. So
my Firefox crashed.
Oh, God. I'm glad it saved all this shit, though. That's good.
I mean, it's still going on with the broadcast, so...
Oh, good.
There's just going to be a quiet little pause for a second.
Nice. Oh, here, let me, I stopped my GarageBand, too. Let me, boop. Okay, we're back. All right.
100% back.
We are 100% A-okay. So, you vamped for a little bit about hot takes.
Do you want to give the hot take right now, Steve? Do you want? I think we introduced it enough.
So, I have 2 hot takes selected from our studio audience, and woo! Woo! You do a little Arsenio Hall.
That was the
this thing.
Audience. Should I get a laugh track going on? Or like when something like somewhat sexual happens on a cable news show, and everybody goes, "Ooh!" Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, you got it. You fucking got it. You got that shit. All right, so now I went through the trouble of anonymizing these. What I would suggest in the future, if future people are interested in submitting their hot takes, tell me what you want if you want to be anonymous, so that we can take the full force of your horrible opinion, or if you want us to share your name with the world, you want the world to know that it was you who had this
abhorrent take.
This mess. Okay. Hot take the first, submitted by Anonymous. All right, and this is gonna be one that animates me quite a bit, Sam. So get ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Oreos are actually kind of bad. because they seriously gunk up your teeth, and it takes like an hour of toothbrushing to feel like my mouth won't rot away. Like the stuff just turns into this cookie cement in your mouth. As a glutton, I like the taste, but there's always the physical regrets. And fruit candy is a better choice than chocolate anyway. So
there's a lot to handle with this.
There's a lot to break down.
That was a hot take.
Oh, it's a hot fucking take, and let me tell you right now.
All right, can I go first?
Yeah, please. This is
here's how you fix the problem with the Oreos.
You
dunk them in milk.
Oh yeah, yes.
And you know what happens when you dunk them in milk?
They become soft. They become a joy to consume.
If you're really that concerned about the Oreo too, why are you eating the Oreo like that then?
Well, see, here's the thing. This person may also be having a problem with the milk, or maybe they've been doing it wrong the whole time and not drinking the milk. But here's where I think you're wrong. Sam.
Eating Oreos wrong.
Yes, 100%. Understand, my friend. You were going to take heat for this take because here's where you were wrong, Sam. There's no such thing as a problem with an Oreo, Sam.
I mean,
Oreos are perfect. They are God's perfect cookie in a 3-pack sleeve, and if you eat all of them in one day, you feel like you've just eaten a little bit of Jesus. Oreos are an incredible dessert. They are good dry. They are good dunked in milk. Or if you're like me, they're good where you take a bite of an Oreo and then chug a glass of milk. So that the whole Oreo is coated in milk while you're chewing, and you don't have milk all over your fingers.
That's also another... Well, here's the thing with the Oreo is, have you ever done the fork technique?
What?
All right, so you take a fork and you put it in the cream filling and you dunk the fork into the milk.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. What the fuck have I been doing? What am I doing?
And so what I like to do is I like to take the two double stuffed and obviously remove the one without the cream onto it, and you combine it to become a quadruple stuff. Put that's over the top of the fork, and you're good to go, Steve. You put both sides on both sides of the fork. I know, man. It's a life-saving. It's a life-changing. Steve knows what he's gonna do tonight.
Oh God, I wish I had any milk in the house. God damn it. Oh God, I gotta sit down even more than I'm already sitting down. I'm not sitting down enough. Oh my God.
Number two. All
right. Two. What? Go on two.
Oreo. I can understand having this issue with the Oreo and feeling like, hey, it's stuck to my teeth and all this stuff. And, for someone who doesn't like sugar. But think about this scientifically.
All right. Break down the math for us.
X equals +4.
No.
Well, okay, no, I'm kidding. Think about it like this. Is the regular cookie not doing the same exact thing? So it's got to be some type of textural issue. In which I think speaking out against the Oreo isn't the problem. It's their own issues that is causing the problem. The Oreo isn't the issue here. It's their own insecurities around the Oreo that are the issues.
Insecurities. That's
because any type of sugary food is going to stick to your teeth like that. A lot of foods are like that.
That's true.
Candy bars are like that. Any type of sugary, sticky food.
I guess it's like the Butterfinger conundrum because this isn't something new. Apparently, now Sam, I love the weird little crunchy chocolate cookie. When you put it in something like when they had those peanut butter Twix bars that had the little chocolate crunch cookie in there, that was my favorite candy bar for 2 years. It's real easy to please me, Sam. I like the cookie part of the cookies and cream almost as much as the cream.
Have you tried the cookies and cream flavor? Have you tried the Oreo flavored Oreo?
I haven't, because I feel like even as you heard me how I got about Oreos, Sam, but Even I look at that and I think this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my whole goddamn
Yeah, why would you
life.
need to buy those if you had birthday cake Oreos available?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
By
it's
the
like
way,
fucking
for
eating
anybody, for
Dunkin'
all 5 of our viewers, all 5 of our listeners,
That's pretty
birthday
good.
cake Oreos, top tier.
Top
Oreo.
tier. Highest tier. Although, alright, so
Cinnamon bun ones are really good too, by the way, Steve.
now look, I know that I was just like mad crazy about Oreos, but there is one thing in the purchased sandwich cookie world that is better than Oreos. And that's JoJo's. Have you heard of JoJo's, Sam?
No.
All right, so
when you
JoJo's.
eat them, do you go goodbye, JoJo?
Goodbye. All right, I do, and my mom looks at me like I'm a lunatic.
Because you kind of are.
Yeah. JoJo's are the Trader Joe's brand of Oreo, and they are delicious.
I was just about to hate on off-brand Oreos, but I haven't tried the Trader Joe ones.
Yeah, Trader Joe, because you know what? Nothing is off-brand when Trader Joe's does it. Do you know why, Sam?
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry.
Because it's Trader Joe's brand. It's not off-brand. It's Trader Joe's. Now,
Steve,
those are great.
I have a question real fast regarding
Yes,
Trader
go
Joe's.
ahead.
It's going to take 2 seconds.
All right, go ahead.
Do you think there's ever been a Republican political cartoon where they had Trader Joe's spelled Traitor Joe's and had a bunch of hippies in the store? Steve, I feel like it's really easy to make Republican. You don't even have to try. There's no subtlety involved. Like, we could probably make a shit ton of money, like, selling our souls to the devil. Is this what an artist has to do, Steve, to make it in the real world? Is to become Ben Garrison?
That, or you become a furry guy, or you do art for furries, and furries pay bank. They pay good. Like, if you've ever seen like the commercial, like, you know, commissions and shit on Tumblr and on Twitter, it's like, oh man, I'm only charging $40. Like, furries will actually be like, man, you didn't charge me enough for this thing, so I'm going to give you an extra like $50. So you either become a hack right-wing political cartoonist, actively pushing towards the downfall of humankind, or you draw naked furries
who sometimes blow up.
Who, you know, sometimes.
I'm telling you, Steve.
Literally inflate.
You just need to find the next fetish to get involved in.
I mean, I can get involved in any one of them. It's just like, I got to make sure that the thing is appealing. But anyway.
Steve's very concerned about his furry art.
Look, I want to be able to hide it a little bit at first, and then be like,
come up with a good pseudonym.
Here's the thing: if I make enough money from it, I won't care, and I'm sure someone will be able to reverse engineer it anyway. But so it's like, it's not
CSI goes, scroll in on that signature, zoom in on it. Oh my god, it's the same font as his other signature.
Yeah, here's the problem. If we're going by signatures, they'll just look at one and look at the other. It's like, yeah, these both look like shit. So we know whose this is. So here's my advice on this cookie front, Mr. Hot Taker. If you don't like Oreos that much, which
you might as well just join the Republican Party tomorrow.
Here's my advice. If you want, see, I've softened a little bit now because I remember that there are not just other options for sandwich cookies, but high quality options for sandwich cookies. Not just like getting a fucking box of Hydrox that's like 400 cookies for $1, and you're not sure what that cream is, if it's glue with sugar in it or not.
I mean, horse tastes delicious, Steve.
The French would agree with you. Here's my advice, Hot Taker. As much as I wanted to excoriate you and make you an enemy of the people, I would say get a box of JoJo's so you can enjoy the magic of Oreos without, because it's not like that chocolate cookie, even the chocolate ones. It's more just like a regular cookie baked with chocolate. So it's not like It's not like the crunchy
it doesn't have
Oreo
that crunchy cookie thing. The cracker.
It doesn't have that same. Yeah, it's not like a cracker cookie. It's like this is a regular hard baked cookie with the cream inside.
In
so
Britain,
that's.
do they call them Oreo crackers, or do you think they call them Oreo cookies?
All
right, I'm gonna that's a Google it. British Oreos.
I thought they were called digestives in England. Cookies.
I don't know what they call them.
I knew at one point. I don't actually know.
I'm looking up. I just looked up British Oreos, and they're just called Oreos. They don't have like a name of them.
Well, they might just be called like Oreo sandwich dessert. Bing bong. So at this point, I think we've had actually a pretty good settlement on this. Sam, what do you? I want to see if you want to. This is something I want to try out. Is do we rate this? How would you rate this, Sam? As a hot take? Is this take hot or not, Sam?
I think it's pretty hot. That's that's a lot of anger towards the Oreo kingdom.
Ooh, so when I say hot or not, you take it as a like, does this person really feel this in their soul?
I felt it coming from theirs. They had animosity.
Yeah. All right. No, that's good. I was actually going to rate hot or not based on whether or not I agreed with it. But you know what? I like that. I like that more. I think that gives us some room to play. This is a hot take. This take is it's there's steam rising off of it. It's nice. It's real good.
It's been in the oven for a while.
Oh yeah,
we were cooking that baby at 400 degrees.
Whew. Let turn on the fan. Turn on the microwave fan. Oh, it's too loud.
Do you want to do our second audience-related hot take, or do you want to do? Okay,
let's do their takes first, and then we'll jump into our takes, and then from there we'll be towards the end. So now this is another hot take from an anonymous source, or not. I mean, but I will say, Sam, that I feel like there may have been some. The reason this was submitted was anonymously was to protect a professional opinion and position. So
it was put. Look, let's just be real. It was put in by Sean Spicer and Mr. Spicer. You're gonna have to do what you need to do to keep your job. You don't have any other skills other than yelling at Dippin' Dots. This is your peak.
That was my only marketable skill. God damn it! There's someone else out there.
He was able to become press secretary off of that skill. So think about how far you can go.
But I like Dippin' Dots. That's the problem. I feel like a lot of
you're on the wrong side of history. Clearly,
yeah.
Steve.
Fuck you. They are the future. I'll live in that future. Okay. All right. So anyway, hot take the second. Now this one's one that I actually had to do a small bit of research on. So let's see where it takes us. And you may have a better opinion on it than I do, because I'll explain later. Hot take the second. Sonic Generations is bullshit. It controls like shit. You have to go to the shop and buy upgrades just to make it feel slightly less like slippery garbage. And even after that, it still feels bad. The 2D sections are awful, and the 3D sections are even worse. It sucks. The only reason people mistake it for a good game is because there hasn't been a good Sonic game since 1994. Fuck Sonic Generations.
Whew!
Oh yeah,
habanero take right there.
Woo, man, that was like, God, we had to like grab tongs. We couldn't even use the oven mitts.
The of
like
gloves.
Shit. I have several oven gloves. They're wonderful. Anyway,
you could just buy an oven mitt.
Yeah, but shut up. Oven glove is better. Is that gonna have to become my hot fucking take? No.
The advantages of the glove of.
We need to focus on what's really important here.
All right.
And that's
so. First of all, I haven't played Sonic Generations.
Now, neither have I. So what I did was I watched a couple of Let's Plays of it, and I mean, from what I could tell, like the 2D sections seemed fine, but when the 3D sections came up, it had that problem that I've seen with almost every modern Sonic game, is that like, or maybe not every modern Sonic game, but these last couple, it's like It's too fucking fast. It is like that may sound like heresy to like people like who really want good Sonic games.
There's a reason why the best combat system that we've seen that was easily replicated was Dark Souls, and where you basically act like a person. Because like it's really hard to do like super fast stuff really well and have, especially for a children's game too. Children have a hard time breathing.
It's very difficult. You have to make sure you put them to bed in a certain way so they don't choke.
And I know I've never played Sonic Generations, but here's my main issue with 3D Sonic games is it's just like, guys, you have literally one of the strongest franchises in the entire world.
One that manages to survive despite constant troubles.
Despite constantly shitting out games. It survived Sonic 2006. It's been 11 years since that game, Steve.
That's true, and they're still making Sonic games. And people are excited for some of them.
Here's the issue, though. And yeah, you can go, oh, you're going too fast. Most of those like super fast sections, you don't have any control over anyway. You're just collecting.
Oh, really?
You're just, I mean, you have control, but it's mostly like, it's hard to explain for those sections. It's mostly just like, if they do give you control, you generally F up and it screws up all your momentum. And then you're like, man, this is fun.
You're walking really slowly to the warp pad so you can go fast again.
Here's the issue with all the 3D Sonic games is that, first of all, they always have these crappy action stuff in them. It's just like, did Mario just needed to punch something. He had a simple, like, 3-punch. Did he have a punch at Super Mario 64?
I thought it was just a kick.
You just jump on top of stuff. It's the basis for all platformers.
Yeah.
Number 2, you guys need to focus on platforming.
Yes. Yeah.
Going fast is fine. You can have those are mostly just like the tech demo areas to be like, hey, look at how good our engine is. It doesn't crash when we make it play.
Go fast.
Yeah. But it's just like, guys, going fast isn't the reason people played Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog was a legitimately very, very, very good platformer. And so you don't play Mario games, be like, oh man, I can't wait to see how Mario goes fast in this. You go, man,
or how high Mario jumps.
And they've also got this weird, I mean, I think a lot of the issues also is they have one of the worst fan bases on Earth.
They are weird. Now, like, as time has gone on, I've sort of come to terms with them in that they're not as weird as other parts of the internet. They're just like sort of the background radiation of fandom.
They're in the internet.
They are the internet, and like I'm sort of past the stage where I'm shocked or like, haha, look at these.
Yeah, it's
Sonic
not 2000.
weirdos.
It's not 2008 anymore.
Yeah, but it's like you look at them and you think that's dedication to a series of games that has not been that good for a long time. But I mean, here's the thing though. Like the last Sonic game I seriously played was a port for the Game Boy Advance. Like that was the last one I played with any sort of seriousness. And even then, I only played the Knuckles sections because I could not play as Sonic. I could not do anything as Sonic. I could only play those games if I could walk up the walls as Knuckles. I wasn't good. But I guess, like, I'd have to agree because I see those sections, and I think, especially because those sections rate you at the end, too, which is really weird because it looks like it's impossible to get like a decent rating because you fly past shit constantly and there's like, how on earth would you have been fast enough to react to get those rings, that power up? It's like when you play the old Sonic game, yeah, sometimes you're blurring past things, but that's only for like certain sections. For the most part, you're still going through the scenery and seeing everything at like a quicker than usual pace. Yeah. It's quick. It's not slow. You have
by
any
ability
means,
to go fast, but you're not always going fast.
Right. Sometimes you're there taking like that's what was so beautiful about those original Sonic games was like that was really beautiful set design and level design and enemy design. And when you're playing those old Sonic games, you get to see those things and it still feels fun and there's still a great flow. But like in these newer ones, it always looks like you're going hyper fast, but if you want to see anything, you have to stop, and there's like zero momentum. You hit an enemy, pop, 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 and then you're back to going too fast to enjoy anything. It looks like a blur to me. Now the 2D sections seem fine, but if he's saying that they're floaty, like floatiness, ooh, ugh.
But we've never played these games because we're not giant masochists, too.
No,
you have to understand. I have it. I probably bought it for like $2 at some point. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. But NBA 2K17 is not going to play itself.
No, 2K17 is literally in your blood.
Should I download Sonic Generations just to play it and try it out so we can get?
If it's super cheap, I mean, I'm gonna probably be at the GameStop today or tomorrow or Saturday.
I'm installing it, Steve. It's happening right now.
Oh, you already have it? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's on my Steam.
All right. Well, good. You know what? All right. So you know what? This is definitely a hot take. This is definitely like, whew, damn.
He meant it, man.
This is the heat that.
But we're gonna have to hold off right now. I feel like.
Yeah, but
I'm giving a proper response because we don't have enough experience. I will try to play Sonic Generations. No promises.
All right. Yeah.
But homework. I'll come back. I'll do some homework, and we'll come back next week. And whoever dislikes Sonic Generations that much, and for what I could what I've seen of the game, and I haven't seen a lot of stuff about this game, even though I do own it because it's on my backlog. Is that Sonic Generations is better than the other 3D Sonic games.
This person's contention is that it's no better than them. So
we'll have to see.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's better than Sonic 06 because it functions.
Now is this more a take against people who think that it's good rather than how good or not the game actually is? Because from what I heard, like, people liked Generations, so maybe this is more of a take about those people, about the people who love Generations. Despite its flagging quality.
I've had a very similar hot take about Avatar, where I feel like one of the reasons why a lot of people like it is because it's been the only decent Western animated action series to exist, and so people are like, I have to like it because if I don't, I hate myself.
That's interesting. That's all right. So that's interesting. So I'm provisionally going to give this as a hot. This is definitely not a not take.
No, this was spicier than the Oreo take.
Yeah, this was spicier than the double Indian hot you used to order.
I have a lot of things to talk about spicy. My hot take has to do with spiciness, by the way.
Oh, all right. So this closes out.
Yeah, Sonic Generation. We will play. We will attempt to play it. I'm not going to promise anything because I'm a lazy sack of shit.
But it's playing a video game, so like I feel like
look, the 2D sections can't be floatier than Little Big Planet.
That's like I've said before in this episode, Sam. That's damning with faint praise if I've ever heard it. that's like it's literally like saying, "Oh, this knife in my gut isn't as bad as the knife in my back."
All right, am I ready? Are we ready for my?
So now that our audience has had a seat, it's time for us to take a seat in the Rowdy Chair. And then there'd be a sting here, I imagine, or like the sound. Here, you know what? There's some Foley work. Is my chair squeaking?
I will squeak it. It will be the most avant-garde soundtrack.
Yeah, there we go. It's like 1945 in here.
All right.
Let's go.
I absolutely despise.
Go on.
I'm a man who enjoys his spicy food.
Yes, you absolutely are.
Let me tell you guys, for people who are unaware of my love of spicy food, I once went to an Indian food place. As you may know, Indians are very known for their spicy foods. And when I ordered my food, they gave me the options of what I asked if I could have it the spiciest they could get. And they go to me and they go, "Oh, we have medium, we have hot, and we have Indian." And I repeated, "I want the spiciest you can give." And all she did was whispering to the phone, "Do you want double Indian?" And I said yes. I said yes. And do you want to know something, Steve? That was some tasty food.
Yeah.
It was incredibly spicy. But it was
I live in fear of the way he eats spicy food. I took a little bit of that and I wanted to die. I did not like being alive anymore after having that food in my mouth. Delicious though it was nothing but pain to me. But this man, you have a tolerance for spice and a love of it that is unmatched.
Do you know what I hate?
What do you hate?
I hate it when you go and order something like spicy wings or spicy food in general, and they give you the spiciness. It's like the chemical spiciness, but it's not like you don't get that flavor from the spices that is so important to the spiciness.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, where it's like a chemically engineered spiciness, and it doesn't have any of those. It doesn't have like a good aroma. It's just there to exist to be spicy. And I'm sitting here going, no, the purpose of spicy food isn't to be as spicy as possible. Spiciness has a flavor to it. It has a soul. It has it adds to flavors. It takes away from flavors. You need to mix these flavors together. So when you're giving me a sauce, or you're giving me an option that all it is give you that spicy flavor. And it's very hard to explain this because food is very difficult to...
But you know what? I think I know exactly what you're talking about because I've had this discussion with other people. There are certain kinds of spice, and I hesitate to call them connoisseurs because you may think it disgusting what they actually do with spice.
they don't spice.
Almost all fucking most. They engineered something that is literally pure capsaicin. So it's not like a pepper that they've roasted or ground or taken the seeds of. It is literally the pure chemical of spice.
Yeah.
In a bottle. And it is so many Scovilles that there's not enough math to actually figure out what it is.
I'm not talking about that specifically.
But I think I understand what you're saying is that you don't like the idea of spice as this chemical construct you create in a lab to create a burning feeling in your mouth. You like spice as an extension of the natural flavors of natural or like processed at least.
Yeah.
The product of the food that you're eating, of the herbs, of the spices, of the pepper and onion and everything together.
Spices. So you take two different hot sauce. You have like a Tabasco and a Frank's hot sauce, and they have two entirely different flavor profiles due to the peppers that they use.
Right.
Every spice isn't the same. Every spiciness isn't the same. What I'm talking about is that chemically engineered, just pure spiciness flavor that doesn't provide any flavor to the dish. It just purely exists to be spicy. And we need to do something about this, Steve. I am sick and tired of ordering something that I would have enjoyed more mild than I did spicy. Not because I can't handle the spiciness, but purely because the spicy flavor, and you should want more spicy. Spicy is good to me.
But it's not giving you any flavor. It's not actually enhancing the food. It's just like, well, I took a bite of this and it hurt me.
It hurt me, and I'm going to
anything
poop
besides
very, very poorly later. The chicken's okay.
The chicken's okay, but it's not like it's been sitting and marinating in some lovely homemade sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
It's here. It's in my mouth. That's it.
Look, it's a constant struggle where people don't understand proper flavor profiles of how to put together dishes and stuff. And they go, oh, people don't think about how food, you can take two different cooks and have them prepare the same exact meal, and they could come out completely different tasting.
Yeah.
Depending on how they prepared it, how long they cooked it, how they put the ingredients together, how they cook the ingredients, and all these different factors.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is you have access to all these spices. We don't live in the 1400s anymore where we need to take over brownish people to get their delicious spices.
No.
We live in the 21st century. What is this need to chemically create spiciness when we already have it? It's already good. We don't need... The spiciness is not the reason why you go for spicy flavors. You go for spicy flavors because the spices themselves are delicious. Like, have you ever like just? I mean, you don't eat like spicy stuff like I do, but like a good chicken wing with a good sauce
Yeah, yeah,
is like,
like that. That's magic. Is finding like this perfect like, and I don't like really spicy things, but I like enough spice. And like you find that you like when you take a big whiff of it, and you're like, oh man, that not only has wonderful flavor, but there's some heat to it. There's some spices in there. There's something
yeah,
in there
because
that's
that
gonna
spicy
make you
also
drip.
that spiciness naturally enhances other flavors in the food.
Yeah.
It's like when people go and like it's like the effectiveness of like buying like a vodka that tastes like garbage purely because you want the alcohol flavor, and it's just like nobody drinks alcohol for the alcohol flavor. Now the alcohol flavor can be added and made to
Right.
be tasty, but like a good like
Mhm.
rum or a good like whiskey or something, that's a lot of alcohol flavor. That's a
Yeah.
ludicrous amount of alcohol flavor, but you also get those great sugars and spices working together
Mhm.
to make a very, very fine, tasty beverage.
So
If it was just pure alcohol flavoring, it wouldn't be a good beverage anymore.
it would be
a poor
awful.
beverage.
You
Yeah.
would be like every fucking so what you're saying is that what you had was the spice equivalent of a freshman in college at his fucking frat house just chugging Natty Light.
Yeah, and why? But this isn't something that's like, well, Natty Light doesn't have like beer doesn't really have an alcohol flavor to it.
But it's
Beer
like
has a beer
the barest. It is the
I'm
barest
talking about-
bones alcohol
I'm talking
delivery
about
system.
the plastic bottle filled with vodka.
Oh yeah, that was a more accurate. Yeah, you were right. That was more accurate. I shouldn't have muddled it.
But
with the beer,
with
with the Natty Light.
spiciness, you don't get effed up from it. Like there's a reason why the freshman in college
I
drinks plastic bottle vodka. Like there's a logical.
I have been fucked up by spice.
No, but I'm talking
members
about
of my family.
No, I'm not talking about poop related effing up.
Oh, it wasn't poop, but go on.
I'm talking about inebriation. There's a logical reason to consume that, and it's for purely inebriation. But you don't get inebriated from spiciness. You get like, oh my god, this is spicy. Yeah, it's just a flavor. Like, yeah, it might do some chemical things that are like interesting, like like Indian food, like spicy food's pretty like it can be fairly healthy for your like digestive system and stuff.
You're right.
And like you can get like euphoria from eating a spicy food because of but that's just like a flavor thing. But there's no like chemical like inebriation happening that you can justify. This is going out and buying. This is going out and having a corporation be like, do you know what our cocktail really needs? The lowest of the low, like, you know, what's in a cocktail? I don't drink very often.
What kind of cocktail? There's like a whole lot of different kinds. Like, are you talking like a martini?
Yeah, martini. Excuse me.
Yeah, martini is usually just vodka, sometimes some bitters, maybe an olive or something like that.
So it's like if you took that and made that, because the spiciness is the top flavor. That is the most extreme flavor out of the flavor profile.
Right.
It should be the strongest flavor, but when it's just that spicy flavor, you're doing something wrong here. You're doing something crazy wrong. It's not. Look,
it's not.
I'm gonna have to call up my local congressman.
Well, you've made this. This is a war, Sam. In your mind, it sounds like this is the battlefield that you will fight and die on.
No,
and I believe.
You know how disappointing it is to have to order mild food because the spicy flavor is too bad? Not because... Do you know what it feels like to have to order mild when you know you can handle hot, Steve?
And you know that you love hot and that you live every day for another lick at that hot, hot sauce?
Mm-hmm.
It's
a frustrating feeling.
That's a kind of hell. That's a kind of hell. Like I feel like there's a Russian novel about a very similar emotion of knowing that you could. That's like a fucking Soviet era novel written by some dissenter in a gulag. I don't mean to take away from that person's experience, Sam, but that's pretty existential. That's kind of weighty. Ugh.
Look,
Sam, I gotta say, literally, that was the hottest take we've had thus far. That was an excellent take.
thank you.
That was that. Oh, mwah, 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 delicious.
Should I have kept that for the very end of the take century?
No, well, I mean, mine's not nearly as good. Maybe we could have, but
I think yours is going to be incredible.
It happened there. Oh, that's very generous. Mine's all right. Well, I'll go into my take then. My hot take, and maybe you saw. I did a brief post on this when I saw it. My hot take, and this is just like something that I've noticed across a lot of. It's tabletop related. It's Warhammer 40K related. Here's a hot take. People who are internet Nazis and fascists, and also real life internet fascists and Nazis, are extremely stupid when they associate themselves with the Imperium of Man from Warhammer 40K. When they depict their leaders as, the High Lords of Terra and as the Emperor. Do you know why that is, Sam? Do you know why they are so uniquely fucking stupid?
Isn't that because, like, the whole entire purpose is that, like, man's really corrupt and really shitty at their job, and they're just kind of waging war so they can?
Fucking exactly. It is so wrong-headed. Like, obviously, we can determine, like, how effective Games Workshop's satire really is if actual Nazis love it, but the whole purpose of the Imperium of Man is that they are a satire of fucking rock-headed fascists and imperialists. Like, the whole setting is basically built around the idea that humans who adopt fascist governments and theocratic states are doomed to an endless cycle of brutal warfare and incompetence that will exterminate that will be their total extermination. Because let's think about what you're saying when, like, I'm John Q Internet Nazi, and I'm gonna go onto poll, and I'm gonna tell all of my friends about those goddamned Jews. But I think that what my post needs to illustrate it is a Photoshop of Donald Trump as the God Emperor of Man, and myself as a glorious soldier in the Imperial Guard. Do you know what that actually implies, Sam? Here's what it implies. It implies that you are literally worshiping a stupid corpse who has done nothing for you or anyone else in 1,000 years and is actively a drain on all of your resources, and that you are just a disposable cog in a giant machine that doesn't care about you, that will literally grind you into paste, fighting legions of superior enemies, enemies who are superior in every single way, for no reason other than we have to fight them. Like, here's the breakdown of what it means when you call yourself a glorious defender of humanity, an Imperial Guardsman. You're saying that everyone that you hate is better and cooler than you in every way. Like, the Necrons finished science, the Orcs, you can't kill them. You can kill them, but they never go away. They are the future. The Tyranids will eat everything else, and they will be the other future with the Orcs. And the Eldar are smarter and better than you in every way, if only they hadn't all killed themselves. And the Tau actually live a happy and meaningful lives outside of pointless war. So that's part of it. And it goes to this deeper thing where certain kinds of, like, fascists and Nazis don't actually, they can't create, they can't comprehend art or creativity in a meaningful way. Because, like, and this goes back.
We should do a test of how, now, me and Steve both appreciate avant-garde arts, correct?
Yes, I'm a big fan of Dadaism. And
I'm a big fan of just the arts of ridiculousness. I'd argue that shitposting is an art form, and I'm a master of it. No, but I think that a lot of these issues is that a lot of people can't look deeply into like why art is made, why art was the way it is, what people were thinking when that was made. And it's like, guys, the entire purpose of Warhammer 40k universe is that everything is terrible, everything is grimdark, and the world is in a better place.
Right.
Humans were in a better place, but then the God Emperor like pseudo died, and now it's in a terrible place.
Yes, and it's part of it goes towards this inability. I think it stems broadly from an inability to examine other viewpoints in a way that actually like affects the way that you think. Like, you know, that's you know, I don't want to be too unfair or at least untenable in saying I'm sure they can examine other people's ways of thinking in certain ways, but obviously they don't do a very good job of it. But if you go back to like Nazi Germany and their relationship with art, like the stuff classified as high and acceptable art under Nazi Germany was actually
was really easily digestible. It was just crap.
It was all shit. It was all just like bad copies of Roman and Greek art and architecture that like was just like this blown out misunderstanding of it. Like it's all of the aesthetic, but none of the meaning, none of the understanding. Like,
and it's like, okay, you can, that's the thing is like a lot of people go, oh, why is this I'd rather have like a well-drawn, like realistic picture than this like painting on a wall that's just a bunch of lines. And it's like, bro, go back to the 1400s. go back to the 1400s and talk about that there where they didn't comprehend like all the stuff that we do now. Look, it's not that those pictures of really detailed, really realistic pictures aren't super well done and super well made, but there's like no artistry to it. It's churned out. It's like
I would say that the masters and certainly lots of people, there are lots of people who do photorealistic work that can be infused with a lot of real art, and you know, obviously technical skills and artistry, and I don't want to downplay it, but you're right. It's in the 21st century we look at art with technical skill is one aspect of what you're doing.
All right, I have a question. Do you think we'd have less Nazis if instead of art class they just taught you how to draw? If instead they taught us how art history was? Like, go back to high school and get rid of art class and replace it with art history class.
I don't think you'd have to get rid of it, but I think definitely art history courses.
No, because if you're interested in art, you're going to be taking art classes, you know? And
well, right. But I think if you pair them together, that actually creates a really useful. So not only do you know the history of art, but now when you're made to do art, you actually understand what the processes were going into it, into creating the actual art. So not only do you understand the emotional and political context of the art, you also understand just the basic work, the time you have to invest, the materials, how difficult they are to work with.
I want to do a study on Nazis not being able to understand avant-garde art. We should do it. All the 100%. Nazis that are currently listening to this podcast.
I hope it's 0. I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that number is a big fat 0.
I mean,
but if you're there,
like 7, maybe 6 of them.
Ugh.
I mean, Steve, we did elect Donald Trump as president.
We did. There are probably more than a few than we'd like, but so what you're saying is we expose them to avant-garde and non-representational art of outside the outside the classics.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that you have it right on the head where Nazis think that they're smarter than they are when they're actually thinking very surface level.
Yes. That's exactly it. It's all surface level understanding.
It is purely just surface level understanding of like how everything works. And you can say like, oh, why have the Jews been hated all around history? Because the Jews were clean throughout history, and Catholics gave them all their money for the banks because they're able to bank, and the Catholics weren't. And you're gonna hate everyone who's in charge of a bank. It doesn't matter what time period you're in. Anybody who's in charge of your money, you're gonna hate. It's a natural science. It's natural human science.
I did get a 401k recently, and I was like, boy, I don't like that banker we work with right now. No, I
is he a fiduciary, Steve?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Go ask him the next time you're there. That's for all the people listening to this show. Make sure you ask your bank advisor, your money advisors, if they're fiduciaries or not. And if they're not, I would consider. So a fiduciary is someone who is legally obligated to help you and not help themselves.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do remember that. I'm sorry to eat, but
that's okay.
It goes,
I don't think that's a hot take per se, though, Steve.
What makes you explain?
It's a little too. So the main issue with your hot take is that it's too common sense. Nobody needs the hot take about that because we all know that Nazis are idiots. It's like the people who go and are like, what if the Imperials were the good guys and Star Wars? It's just like, guys, this is a morality lesson made for 5-year-olds. Like, you can go, the Jedi were misinformed and that there were no good guys in Star Wars. I can accept that answer. The Jedi were really incompetent. That's part of the reason why they fell apart, is because they're like, hey guys, we all know that Anakin Skywalker is going to turn into a literal nuke. What should we do about him? I don't know. Maybe we should arm him. We should trust him.
Give him all this
I can literally see the future. I see the future, and I already know what's going to happen. We need 3 movies, man.
Bad writing. But, I mean, but it animated me, though, Sam. Sometimes, like, I'm not going to...
I'm sure it's... No, I'm not denying that you are a hot person, but it's a pretty...
But is it a take?
Is it a take is the big thing. The take has to be something that goes against the grain, Steve. And I know we're in troubled times, and Donald Trump is president. And for some reason, there's a sudden rise in Nazism on the internet. Which, by the way...
I feel like...
All right, I want to get things clear. I understand, like... Here's the thing with all this punching Nazis nonsense that's going on. I'm never going to condone violence. I'm never going to condone violence in my life. I'm a very pacifistic person. But if you're going around and you're yelling that black people should be exterminated, what the fuck do you expect, man?
Yeah.
What do you expect? Why are you trying to be the victim here when you're telling people? If I went up to a bar and I was like, you know what? I think everyone here should be murdered because it'll make the world a better place. Do you think I'm not going to get the shit beat out of me for saying that?
Well, like, Sam, you're not going to get the shit beat out of you because it would be like punching a wall.
How much white privilege do you have to be to feel like you have to be protected with your awful viewpoints? Like, that's part of the thing with free speech is you can say whatever the hell you want, but you have to understand that there's consequences to the things you say. And like,
what you say means something.
And like one of the things I see all the time is like people going like, why is there no investigation for the person that punched Richard Spencer? If you're a cop and people are literally getting murdered every day, you are in a city where people are getting shot every single day. And some guy goes up to you and goes, "Oh, somebody punched me because I'm a Nazi." Do you think that cop's gonna go, yeah, man? Right on to the top of the message, right on the top of the list for that one.
I think there's a certain brand of cop, but I think overall you're not far off. It's a very petty assault.
Look, there's a lot of problems with our police force, but I think I've always been a proponent that if we want to make our police force better, we pay them a shit ton more money. They make shit money. And they're doing a bad job because we don't get people who want to be cops. If you want to be a cop, you're going to have to accept the fact that you're going to make a lot less money than you could have normally made. It's the same thing with teachers. No wonder why we have such shit teachers and such shit cops in our country when we pay them like garbage. So why don't we just go and we say, hey, we're going to pay these people reasonable wages, and so we'll get really good people involved. And guess what would probably happen?
Things would be I understand that.
And this is gonna. If I gave this as the liberal, this is the stupid idiots in charge of our Democratic Party who are suddenly we're anti-police because we're against the police. Do you know what you go? You go, no, we're pro-police. We want police to have more money and to have more training and to be better people.
Some people would be against the. There are certain ideas that are like that would prefer a system different than the police, but that's something I don't.
There's not.
Quite,
that's not going to be reasonable in a Western society. In a gigantic.
I would give it a shot. I would if I did some reading on it, I would probably have a.
No, it's purely a logical thing where if you are a kid interested in becoming a cop, what incentive is there to become a cop right now? Everybody hates you.
Have a lot of power.
You have to do a bunch of shit that nobody wants you to do.
You have to work.
No, it's a matter of.
I know.
All right, you have to sit there and do parking tickets all day. Like who? Like I understand the need for like speeding tickets and all that stuff,
sure.
but like who wants to do that job? And you're getting paid shit. You're getting paid horribly for that job. Why? Why do you think you'd get good performance out of that? And do you really think it would cost the country like way more money to give the police officers like $20,000 more a year?
I would definitely feel like
that's like a few. That's like maybe like $50 million. Maybe I don't know how many police officers there are, but like
there's a lot.
High end of $50 to $100 million to give like low wage police officers like a proper. Money, proper training. Because that's the thing. It's a bunch of people who aren't trained. We're wondering why we have all these issues. Well, they're trained terribly and they don't make any money. And so you're wondering, what's the most efficient way we can get something to be done poorly? And you go, oh, let's not train the person. Let's give them terrible wages. And then you go. It's like I'm very much pro-police. I'm very much anti-police in a lot of ways too. I can be both. I think what they've done in a lot of the cases to a bunch of the members of society who happen to be of much darker skin is horrible. It's like the worst thing on earth. And there's a lot of issues going on with the fraternal order of the police. First of all, brothers, your job is not to protect each other. Your job is to protect me and you and everyone else in this country.
Mm-hmm. No, that's,
like what are you doing?
Fucking correct.
Like what are you doing? But like I said, the party we align ourselves with are a bunch of incompetent morons, and hopefully they get replaced by people who aren't incompetent. But I'd
really like it.
Wouldn't it be just great if like all those middling, moderate Democrats who are like, I'm
gonna retire. I might do.
We can compromise on transgender people using bathrooms. It's like, no, get the fuck out. Stop it.
Get your shit stomped. I'm excited. I'm excited, Sam, for the brave new era of everyone yelling at their congresspeople all the time. It's happening.
And it's happening on both sides. Everybody is pissed off right now because
it warms my soul.
Do you want the thing that's gonna? Do you want to know what like? So like. Everybody's realizing like how stupid our politicians are, except for Republicans, of course. They, for some reason, still support their stupid Republicans who are literally. What justification can you have for repealing an act to stop oil companies from dumping oil into streams? Like, what justification? It's gonna save jobs. Yeah, the guy who brings the oil to the stream, poor guy who gets the bucket full of oil and pours it into the stream. Man, what a terrible job that we lost. Like, this doesn't make any sense. How can you be a Republican and support any of the shit? Like, that's the thing that
one day you're gonna be the rich guy who gets paid to fucking dump oil into shit. But
that's not gonna happen because most people have souls and aren't willing to do. See, that's the thing I don't like about a lot of the people in the like Republicans are they value like how much money people make over like normal things, and you don't understand that people have like different ambitions. And I'm stubborn as hell, and I can easily sway people somewhat, and I'm a good leader, and I could probably make a shit ton of money taking advantage of a lot of stupid people. But I have a soul. But does that make me worse than other like a Sam clone who decided to do that?
Yes, Sam, you are not engaging in in capitalist brutality hard enough, you are not exploiting your fellow man and sucking the soul out of their bodies.
And here's the funny thing. You know what's going to happen is because of all this, I'm pretty sure we're going to become a socialist nation. Is the funny thing. Because how stupid are... And I'm not even happy about that. Like, socialism isn't the end all. See, here's the thing. Is they're both... Capitalism and socialism are both 400 years old, 500 years old concepts.
You want socialism 2. You want 2.0. You want the
No,
system.
I want capital socialism. I want a mix. I want the good parts of capitalism mixed with the good parts of socialism. I want our country to be run efficiently, but, you know...
With like, humanity and decency.
There are a lot of really, really bad business regulations that hurt a lot of small business owners. So do you know what you do? You go, hey, I'm going to get rid of those bad regulations for small business owners, but keep them on the humongous businesses. Then you're pro-business all of a sudden. Like here's the thing I keep preaching. We know what the problem is. We know what the problem is. It's these horrible corporations that control our government. Why do we keep beating around the bush? We know you talk to a conservative, you talk to a Democrat, you talk to a libertarian, you talk to a Green Partier. They can all tell you that that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
And there's ways to fix that.
I don't think a Republican would agree. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. I think they would think that that's the...
Those aren't like... those people should consider doing something with something. I won't say it.
Something. Are you having the same problem that I've been having in the last couple months? Is that you have to find the very careful line to walk down that doesn't exactly say I'd like to commit treason?
No,
or sedition. I am.
No, my big problem is that, like, I just don't like hypocrisy at all. And I was you know what? I was one of the people that sat there and was thinking, like, man, you know what? Donald Trump is president, but you know what? Like, he's our president. That's what the people wanted. Like,
you were gonna give it a
shot.
And
now people are kowtowing to him, even though he's breaking the fucking Constitution. The document that every Republican goes, oh, we got a Constitution, Second Amendment. Blah.
Well, that's the thing. They only care about the one. Yeah, they don't care about the Constitution. See, here's the thing. Republicans don't actually care about rules when the rules work against them. And in a broad sense, sure, everyone is that way, but that's the big problem with the last 8 years of Democrats is that, like, they believe so much in the rules and all the laws that we have to follow decorum and we have to make sure that we're following the system and blah, blah, blah. And it's like Republicans are like, they get in power. It's like, nah, we're going to burn everything down so that we can get all of our stupid shit that we want because we are the stupidest, most piece of shit assholes, and we will break every rule and every law, and we don't care because we're getting what we want, and that's all that matters. I don't care if you're dead now. Literally, I don't care if someone is stepping on your neck and killing you. I got my 2% tax break on the estate tax.
And it only helps rich people. Like, who likes rich people?
Rich people, and unfortunately, rich people will give people enough money that they will care about them. It's we got there, didn't we? We hit it.
We hit it out of the ballpark, Steve.
We
don't plan on this being a political podcast, but it's kind of hard to keep silent right now.
Yeah, it's hard.
Especially because, like, what video games have come out that we've been able... First of all, we're both dirt poor right now.
I'm not dirt poor.
We are poor-ish.
Yeah, I guess. I live in a house. We both live... What? I'm not gonna.
What's your social security number?
No, fuck you. Well, it's Why would I?
8675303.
Oh yeah. But you know, it's politics are going to seep into things that we talk about, and I had actually taken hot takes that were slightly apolitical. There was actually another hot take I had that was like a little too hard, not even hard, but like complicated, I guess. It delved into issues. But I figure my fascist one actually delved.
I think my next one is I'm going to have a hot take on libertarians.
Ooh, please do. I would
I want to
love
save that one. I'm gonna save that one because
save it.
I've got a lot of hot takes about libertarians that need to be
Sam,
addressed.
we could have a whole episode of both of us ragging on libertarians. I would do it in a heartbeat. That would be my dream.
I'm 16 and I don't understand the way the world works. My emotional maturity is 16, and I don't understand that like black people have it way worse than me. But F them.
I was literally that person. But
right.
not in that way. But
we were
yeah.
16. You make mistakes.
We were
this
all
is what happens
16
when you're 16. We were all 16 at one point, but there's so many people out there that don't evolve from where they were when they were 16. And I'm finding that out the more old I get. The older I get, the worse I see in people having that problem where they haven't grown up. And I'm not saying like I'm her mature adult, but like,
but you see where other people stopped, where you kept going.
Yeah,
and it wasn't
not
just
even like things like politics. It's like we had that great example of art. That's a huge problem when people don't comprehend like how art works and why art works and what context things were in. They just look at that painting of a bunch of like paint on the thing and go, "Well, I don't understand this. It's stupid." It's just like, dude, go look at the history behind it. Go figure out why it's important to the art movement. Figure out who made it and why they made it, and then you can talk to me about your critique of this thing. But your opinion literally means nothing.
Yeah.
But of course, I was like 8 at the time when we were talking about that, and I couldn't elaborate very well. I had a really big problem where I tried to argue with. It's one of the reasons why I don't like to argue with people nowadays, even though I'm probably good at it, is because like when I'd argue with people and when I was 8, I'd have a really hard time elaborating on things.
Is this why?
And, like, it's left a scar on my memory.
Is this why, like I've mentioned in past episodes, that you are either loved or hated by all teachers? That teachers immediately form an opinion on you based on not that I would say your lack of skill at arguing, but your lack of able to articulate in the right way, or is that just your stubbornness?
That was also because I was very unmedicated for my ADHD, which I have, which also hurt in teacher like most of my teacher relations were fine after I became medicated. It's just that like I kept it real. I keep it real 24/7. I'm a real guy.
You're constantly real. You have no ability to not be real.
I mean, I can keep it not real. But I think it's a disservice not to keep it real most of the time. People would rather me be real. But, like, there's people, like, for instance, I had to drop out of a college class because I would have started arguing with him. I didn't get to that stage. But he wanted us to do a binder check in college. And I was about to rip into him. And it's just like, dude. Like, how stupid. He put a limit so he'd give us like these stupid questions on like the readings and stuff, and he'd force us to write 50 words, and he'd yell at you if you didn't do 50 words for the answer. It's just like, dude, don't tell me how to take notes. Don't explain to me how to take. I don't need to put 50 words for this answer because this is my own notes.
Yeah, it's like especially with notes. Like, who gives a shit? It's like, this is information. This is how I need to keep this information so that I can remember it properly.
It's a big moral argument because statistically speaking, what he did would work because kids who normally I've met a lot of people who have no clue how to study either.
I have no idea what studying is. I never learned how to do it.
I can do it. I just hate doing it. Like, it's not difficult to do in the sense of like, I don't know what to do. Oh my God. Here's what you do, Steve, is you find all that stuff that you had read about and you just read it a couple more times. And there you go.
What? Impossible.
Here you go. No, but you know what I'm trying to say is like, statistically speaking, let's just say like 80% of the kids will get better. But what about those 20% of the kids? And we're in college. Like, I'm an adult. I could have children, and you don't know it. Like, I don't have children, by the way.
What?
I have a cat, as you can tell by my picture.
Yes,
I have a laser cat.
The Rowdy cat.
By the way, I don't remember if we've ever told you, but that is my cat on the Rowdy Chair. That is the Rowdy Chair.
We did mention it once before. That is the Rowdy Chair, and you can see it.
But anyway,
well,
I think one of the issues is like it's a moral flaw. It's a philosophical issue of me being like, hey, like I'm an adult. I'm gonna do things. I have the ability to do things stupidly if I want to. And what happens if I am then that 20% of kids where it doesn't help at all? And you're just making me waste my time. And there's one commodity I do not like to have people waste for me is time. I'd rather waste my own time. Thank you very much.
I do a good job of it all of my own.
That was an extra hot take, ladies and gentlemen.
You got some spice, some sauce.
I wanna end this podcast on a higher note, though. Do you have something exciting or happy to talk about, Steve?
I'm gonna go eat a
You're gonna have to find a way
tomorrow.
to get my JoJo manga to breathe somehow.
I can just mail them to you. I'm not gonna try and because I'm gonna be busy this weekend, and it's just like I'll just mail it to you. You'll get them back. I'll pay the postage. It's fine. We got a good deal on UPS at work. It's fine. I'll just send it to you in a box. So,
okay.
I'm gonna eat a currywurst tomorrow, and the Switch comes out soon, and it's almost Friday.
I'm gonna have to probably sit out. When does the Switch come? Like, what day does it come out on?
Next
I might
Friday.
have to take off work. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off work
and do that right
sit
now.
outside of.
You do that right now.
No, it's on. Let me look up the Switch.
It's March 3rd. God damn it!
I accidentally used the browser with the Rowdy Chair in it to Google it.
Sam, why?
It's coming out on March 3rd.
That's
3rd
Friday.
Friday. So I'm probably going to be outside on Thursday during the day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick up because I wasn't able. Do you? So you're 100% on your Switch that you've pre-ordered.
I'm gonna be 100% tomorrow. I'm trading in my Wii U for the rest of it.
Damn it! If there's a chance that you're not 100%,
dude, what?
Like, let's just say you're like, man, I don't have the $300 necessary.
I have the $300 necessary. Even without turning in the Wii U. I'm sorry. Well, we'll have something exciting to talk about next week, I'm sure. I think our audience brought some great heat. I'm really glad that they had some masterful work, really. And I'm excited to see what they'll bring to us in the future, because he actually gave us homework, one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play a 3D. I'm not looking forward to playing a 3D Sonic game. I'm kind of upset.
Well, you'll have to stream it for me. You'll have to let me know. I'll hop on Twitch, and we'll get through this together.
I can't, Steve. You forget my internet's too bad to stream.
It'll be fine.
No, I literally can't stream at a reasonable resolution.
It'll be fine.
All right. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
All right, Sam. Like a nice glass of whiskey.
I have to eat the rest of this Chinese food.
Bye, Steven. All right,
bye.
You want to see each other on next Thursday?
I'm next Thursday. We might actually be able to do one.
We need to do a weekly schedule. We need to get a weekly schedule.
Yeah, but
same night every week.
Yeah, but weekly is more difficult for me because I'm not always free on Thursdays. If we're
free on,
it's like next week I'll be free on Monday because I'll have the house to myself and I'll be able to record.
Are you always on a Monday free?
Every other Monday and every other Thursday. So
next week is Monday and then Thursday and then Monday and then Thursday.
Yeah, I could do that. That would be pretty good, actually.
All right, everyone. This is the Rowdy Chair.
This is the Rowdy Chair, and we'll
try not to make it a politics podcast.
We won't. It'll be more lighthearted next time, but it'll creep in every now and then.
Especially
But
because,
next,
we live in a shithole that decided to elect Donald Trump.
Yes, it's
and
very
if you decided to vote for Donald Trump, please continue listening to our show. Maybe we'll switch.
Please continue
you never
listening.
know. Yeah.
No.
Give us money and maybe we'll switch.
No.
Steve, if somebody came up to you and said, if you take $1 million right now, you just have to shill for Donald Trump. Do you know what? $1 million is a lot of money.
I would literally have to use half of it to fight Donald Trump, and then I would shill with my face forward. I could do that, but I couldn't in good conscience just take the $1 million. I couldn't.
Think about how many video games you could buy, though.
I could buy a lot of video games, Sam, but I would feel bad in my soul. Cookies would not taste as good purchased with that blood money. And it would be blood money. Let us be clear.
Dirty cash.
The dirty
Steve, the one thing that has hurt us
money.
The one thing that has hurt us in our entire life pursuits is we have an ethical guideline and standard.
God damn it. A fucking mess it is.
All right, this is the Rowdy Chair. I'm Sam. This is Steve.
And I'm Steve. Oh, wait. We have... and if you want to keep in touch with us, I'm at StephenFC on Twitter and at thefuturesimperfect.tumblr.com. And Sam, where are you at?
My Twitter is Sam the Man Coonan. It's
really
Coenen is my last name. I don't tweet very often because I don't really like Twitter. And you can also see me on my Tumblr, which is tumblr.coonenthebarbarian. Which is Coenen, the barbarian. There's going to be a lot of grandmas with guns. Just ignore those. Actually, don't ignore
and a lot of NBA.
Yeah, a lot. No, the Tumblr doesn't have the NBA. The Twitter has the NBA stuff.
It's all NBA, basically.
Yeah. All right, Steve. Bye bye.
All right, Sam.
I hope you have fun tonight.
Have a good night. You too.